Maybe you have a car and you're using the car for Uber, you're using the car for Taxify, or you're using it to make money, basically. That, of course, can be categorized into assets. But I mean, my regular day-to-day car that moves me from one point to the other, it is a liability because it's taking money from you. By this definition, it is. It's taking money from you. You're going to service the car. If you don't service the car will go bad. Nigerian wear and tear. Even if you live abroad, you still have to service your car, yeah? No matter how good the road is, you still have to service your car. And after a certain period of time, the wear and tear of the body happens. Wear and tear happens. Whether you live in Obodo Yibo or you live in Nigeria, wear and tear will happen over time. Is that not why you service the car? So you will change tires at some point. Do you understand? So people say, oh, I've never changed my tire. You will change your tire. Whether you're original, you're going to change the tire. You get it. Yes, because wear and tear. In fact, the Oyibo that did the tire has given you an expiring date. So tell me, how are you not going to spend money on a car you bought? Immediately you buy the car, you're spending money on it. From licensing, from the papers. Is it not depleting money? Is it not depleting resources from you? You're going to fill it with fuel. Hey, when I in the era that we're going to buy fuel, 500 and something, they said they're going to go into 700 and something. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Tea Talk with Goodness Usman, your #1 real estate talk show in Africa. And thanks to each and every one of you who keep coming back every week when we upload to watch. I say this all the time, you guys are the real MVP. And we all at Nigeria Realty 24/7, we appreciate you all. Now, peradventure, this is your very first time of coming across this show. We want to say, first of all, welcome to the family. And we hope that you're going to be here with us forever. Meaning you have to subscribe now so that you can get to know us better. And most importantly, to get to watch other episodes that we will be uploading on the show. It promises to be more educating, and of course, we promise to bring information that will help you become a better real estate investor in the Nigeria real estate market. Now on the show, my name is Goodness Usman, and I am your Fab Lady Realtor for Nigeria Realty 24/7, and of course, the queen of landlord makers, your beautiful and talented host. Yes, that's me. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to today's episode. Now, for those of you who have been with us for a while, you know that we have a ritual. And of course, for those who do not know what that is, on this show, as the name implies, tea talk. We always have a sip of our tea. Yes, I come here and enjoy my green tea as usual, but I advise that whichever one you're comfortable with, wherever you are, whether a green tea, a glass of wine, glass of water, juice, whichever one, just pick it up right now, relax, sit back to learn and unlearn, and most importantly, to join in the conversation, because it's all about you. All right, let's get right into today's episode, shall we? Ooh la la. It's always an amazing time. I mean, it's always a great taste. Every time I sip my green tea. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to once again welcome you guys to our season 5, episode 4. I'm so excited. I mean, wow, gradually this season will soon be over, right? All right, so let's go right into the topic of the day. I mean, the topic at which we're going to be having the conversation around, which is no other than net worth. I'll say that again. Net what? I remember that in last episode, I talked about the subject line was, what will your net worth be in the year 2030? Do you know it? Do you know it? Do you have an idea? Do you have a plan? What's your current net worth, Seth? And I got a very interesting question. In fact, interesting conversation, Seth, off the channel. But let me read this particular one to you guys. So that's where we're kicking this topic off from. And please ensure that you participate with me. So come along with me. Let's see the comments. I'm going to read it out as usual. Yeah, it's better to always read it out. So I got it. All right. So this person, Mr. Babalola Samad, he said, hello, Queen of Landlord Makers. I just want to appreciate you and all the good work you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't even imagine how much of time and resources it costs you to be this consistent. Nice. Hence why I appreciate you, Mom. Okay, let's get to I'm trying to get to the bottom of the whole thing. Okay, so you say, here's my thoughts. I'll say observation. You have always used the word net worth a lot in your videos. I'm suggesting you discuss it more intensely for some of us to have better understanding. Looking forward to the video, and soon myself and my friends, in quotes, will patronize you. Our savings getting matured soon. Oh, this is great. All right. So, this has been in the pipeline before now, but it wasn't supposed to be in episode. It wasn't supposed to be in season 4. But when I saw this comment, I said, okay, let's bring it forward, guys. Let's talk about it. So now we'll go straight into the definition of net worth. What does net worth mean? I'm not going to give you my own definition yet. Let's check it together. Are you guys ready? They always say that Google is your friend. You know how they say police is your friend in Nigeria? It's the same way Google is your friend. But I think Google is actually your friend. I don't know about the version of police is your friend. But I know the version of Google is your friend. All right, so I'm out here. Definition of net worth. It says what net worth means. Not network, net worth. Net worth is the balance of your assets and liabilities at one point in time. Calculating your net worth takes into account all of your sources of wealth minus the debt you owe. Hello? Let's say it again. Net worth is the balance. I love the way Google put this. They even highlighted this part. He highlighted the balance of your net worth is. He now highlighted the balance of your assets and liability at one point in time. Calculating your net worth takes into account all your sources of wealth minus the debt you own. So that's the definition by, I believe, even if you go use an Oxford dictionary, that's the definition you're going to get, and that's why I Googled it. All right, so now starting with this definition, I love this. 2 key points I want us to note here. It talks about assets and liabilities. So it means that we all have assets and liabilities. But the question is, which outweighs the other? Is your liability over your assets, or your assets is over your liabilities? Now, for financial stability, getting financial freedom, we always say that it is better that we have more of assets over liabilities. You see some people have a whole lot of liabilities and they think it's asset. Now, there's another conversation for that. A lot of people don't know the difference between an asset and a liability. Trust me, if you ask your friend on this tape on your phone, it's going to give you the difference. I don't want to go into the definition of assets and liabilities, but we'll just touch on it briefly. Okay. Now, going back to this definition, it says net worth is the balance of your assets and liabilities at one point in time. Now, from back last week when I said, what will your net worth be in the year 2030? What is, for you to be able to calculate or have a plan of what you want your net worth to be in 2030, It means that you have to be aware, you have to be in the know of what your current net worth is at this time. It says knowing what your balance of your assets and liability is at one point in time. So we can't even plan for the future if we don't know where we are today. How do you plan for tomorrow when you don't know where you are today? By the way, I want to say happy newborn. Yay! Happy newborn. Yes, we are. We have crossed over into the month of June. Wow. I can't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the month of June. Amazing. I just want to take a moment to say thank God for your life. Yes, you that are watching me, thank God for you and yours. That we made it to June. I am so sure that I pray that God will grant us the grace to see the end of 2023 and many more in good health in the mighty name of Jesus. So, happy new month to you and yours. Back to the order of the day, speaking about your net worth. So like I was saying, if you don't know what your net worth is today, how are you even going to plan for tomorrow, 2 years' time, half a decade's time, a decade's time? How? So it is important that we know what our net worth is and what you will use to know, what we're going to use to know or define what our net worth is based on the assets that we have and our liabilities. So the question I'll put to you is, do you have a lot of liabilities or you have more of assets? Like I said earlier, it's way better that we have more of assets over liabilities. Okay, now I'm not going to do everything based on my own definition. Let's quickly check out the meaning of liabilities. 1 minute. All right, so liabilities can be defined as obligations that deplete resources, such as loans, accounts payable, mortgages, some cars, and all of etc. etc. So liabilities again means it can be defined as obligations that deplete resources. I love the word there. The key word there is deplete, like removal, takes away, takes from you. You get it? Something that's always collecting money from you. If you have a television and your television is collecting money from you and not giving you money, I tell you, I put it to you, it's a liability. You see this cup, if it's collecting money from you, it's not adding value to you, it's a liability. My cup is not a liability. Okay, but you guys get the gist, right? So anything that just depletes resources. So another thing, we used to have this argument with my friends, is a car a liability or an asset? So people say, oh, my car is an asset, or it's not a liability. A lot of the time, cars fall under liabilities. Now, why I would say a car falls under liabilities is that the moment you buy a car, except a Rolls Royce, the categories of Rolls Royce, the normal regular Range Rover, Toyota brand and all of that, the moment you buy it, the value depreciates immediately. Once you drive it out of that auto shop, that's it. Okay? Unlike when you buy a house that the value still goes up no matter how many years you have lived in it. Do you get it? So for a car, it's always a liability. Now, I get the argument of those who says, hey, it's an asset for me because it's a 2. When it's a 2, it's a different ball game. There's a way. By the way, I'm not an accountant, but I know that in the accounting, editing, rishi like that, like parts, there's a way they put it, and then it can be. There's a term they use for it that it can be an asset. That's if your car is income producing. Maybe you have a car and you're using the car for Uber, you're using the car for Taxify, or you're using it to make money. Basically, that of course can be categorized into assets. But my regular day-to-day car that moves me from one point to the other, it is a liability because it's taking money from you. By this definition, it's taking money from you. You're going to service the car. If you don't service the car will go bad. Nigerian wear and tear. Even if you live abroad, you still have to service your car, yeah? No matter how good the road is, you still have to service your car. And after a certain period of time, the wear and tear of the body happens. Wear and tear happens. Whether you live in Obodo Yibo or you live in Nigeria, wear and tear will happen over time. Is that not why you service the car? So you will change tires at some point. Do you understand? Some people say, oh, I've never changed my tire. You will change your tire. Whether you're original, you're going to change the tire. You get it. Yes, because we are here. In fact, the Oyibo that did the tire has given you an expiring date. So tell me, how are you not going to spend money on a car you bought? Immediately you buy the car, you're spending money on it. From licensing, from the papers. Is it not depleting money? Is it not depleting resources from you? You're going to fill it with fuel. Hey, when I in the era that we're going to buy fuel, 500 and something, they say they're going to go into 700 and something. Now, for those of you who are in this argument, my car is not a liability. Oh, let me know that for in Shakunshan. We're going to find out soon. Oh, some people are going to park their car at home. Just, I own a car. That's my car. You'll be franking your car holder like this. Don't worry. I've come to the era that some of you will keep your car in the house. It's not funny, but it's just the truth. Because some people that have 2-3 cars, we're going to like rationally it. It's petrol is now a 400. I know the people in the Obodo abroad. I'll be in the Obodo Ibo. They'll be saying, you know how many pounds I feel I get fuel, you know, I get petrol for dollars, no problem. Yeah. So they are trying to equate it now. But you guys in the Obodo abroad, you forget that the resources that the government there has provided is not the same thing here. In the Obodo abroad, you do not take light. In Ghana, Nilelembi, Togo here. Togo in our backyard here. They do not take light. Though the cost they pay for the power is different, yes, but I would rather pay more for something I can get value from. So let's not deviate. I'm just saying, for those who always argue, because I've had this conversation over and over, even on social media, you see people on Twitter, people say, oh, my car is my asset. For my own books, assets, when it's generating income. But if it's not, sorry, it is not an asset. It is a liability. So back to what we are talking about. We've understood what a liability is, right? So let's go back to what an asset is. An asset is anything owned that has monetary value. Monetary value. I think we're going to be having a board and we're going to be writing this thing so that people can see very well. Monetary, I love this definition. An asset is anything owned by you that has monetary value. So if my spoon is adding money to me, it is an asset. Like I said earlier, your car can be an asset if it is adding value. Monetary value, not value, emotional value. Please. It does not count in the books of accounting. It does not count in this regard of net worth finances. When I'm talking about finances, or we're talking about financial books, if it does not add monetary value, it is not an asset. Okay, so let's look into it. What is then an asset? What are these things that can be an asset? So here are a list of the things that can be considered to be assets. There are more than this, but I'm just going to pick few. First of all on my list is real estate. Real estate. Then we have mutual funds. Okay, we have mutual funds. We have intangible assets. Now, in the accounting world, there's a way they calculate something to be intangible assets. We have fixed assets as well. Cash can be considered as cash is considered as assets. Accounts receivables are considered as assets. We have securities, stocks. You know, like I mentioned earlier, not all vehicles or cars can be considered as liability. Some cars can be considered, or vehicles can be considered as assets as well. Intellectual properties can be considered as assets as well. We have I've talked about money. I've talked about, let's just mention those, you know, among other things. So for you who do not know what comprises of an asset, you know that now. And you can go online and read more about it. Because see, it's one thing to just wake up and say, oh, I want my net worth to be XYZ amount, comes XYZ year. But you don't even understand the things around net worth. And I love the fact that this person asked this question and then asked us to go in depth, even though we have it in plan. So thank you so much again, the man, Mr. Babalola, I think. Thank you so much. I don't think I will say Samad or so. Thank you very much for bringing this up. So now that we know what an asset, what liabilities are, we can now go back to our definition of what a net worth is. So let's go to how our net worth is being calculated. Yes, a net worth is calculated by subtracting all liabilities from assets. Remember that we said that an asset is anything owned that has monetary value, while liabilities are obligations that deplete resources. I mean, such like a loan. I mean, if you have a property worth 40 million naira and you have taken a loan of 60 million naira, what's your asset? You don't have, what's your net worth? Zero. Because you're even in debt. Because if your net worth is 50 million naira and you're owing 100 million naira, 50, if you take 50 from 100 of your debts, you're still owing 50 million. So your net worth is even minus. So that's where you start hearing terms like declare bankruptcy, you are in debt, declare you in debt. There are so many terminologies that are being used in that regard. So how we calculate the net worth is when we remove your liabilities from your asset, which is a typical example I just gave. A lot of people are living on loans. I mean, I remember back then when I just started working, fresh from NYSC. Okay, I started working while I was serving, and then, of course, after service, I just continued with the company. And a lot of what I was doing then was around major banks. I mean, I related with a whole lot of banks, and I was going to the head office of all of these banks. And I remember then, people will always, you know how we rate bankers. We say bankers are... I know some people who are following me here who I know back then, if you watch this, they'll be like, Chloe, goodness. I see you, but I'm not hearing you. Toriko Yemi, what are you talking about? You know, back there, honestly, I'm sorry. Jesus, I don't even talk about this, but it's the truth. Then I used to look at bankers and be like, people say, oh, he works in the bank. He has money. She works in the bank. She has money. I'm like, what? The car is a loan. The house is a loan. Don't be. I don't know, but that was me. I always say that. Okay, yes, they have money. They are big, but down. That car is 4 years low. The house is clinical loan. The trips is another loan. This is not funny, yes, but I knew way back then that a lot of, not all of them, a lot of these people live their life unknown. We see them outside, we see the lifestyle, we love it, we admire it, but so many are not aware that these things are unknown. Now, they work in the bank, they have access to loan. I mean, I have cousins who work at the bank and all of that. In fact, I remember back then, LG used to do this thing, Fuhani, they still do it now, actually. If once you work in any bank in Nigeria, I don't know about that, but in Lagos, you can walk into Fuani. I think it's only Fuani that does it. Maybe some other brands. I think I saw Samsung did it, but I don't know if they still do it. But they did it then. I benefited because I have this brother who works for the bank. And then I just say, wait, my friend just packed up one day. I'm like, wait, maybe these guys do this thing. Now, what did they do? If you're a banker and you want to change your entire electronics, I mean, if you're working in the bank, you should count for something now. Abi, just like when you're a pilot, you should count for something. Like me, I wish I'm a military woman. You see those in the traffic. Those nonsense on Nigerians will do in the traffic. If I was a family woman. Whoa! So, the bankers can walk into, you can see a young banker walk into Fuhani and change his smart screen TV. You just come by and say, or more. I can't. This Fuhani packaging, it did some things that, well, if it was on my podcast, where it's uncensored, we'll probably talk about those things. But some of you already get the gist. You know, so they have the opportunity. There are so many opportunities. As a banker, you have a lot of opportunities, which is such as the one we're talking about now. So they can go and just decide, oh, I want to change my AC, all their electronics in their house, freezer, fridge, TV, all of them to a certain amount of money. They will change it once. You just see them, they'll bring a truckload and come and offload those things. And you'll be like, I mean, now you're like, oh, wow, she's a big car. Oh, it's a big one. It's what? It's a basic. It's a low. It's not a cash money. You get it. It's not like some of us that say, if I go to Fuani and Fuani is going to look at me as customer, you walking about, what's your heart to cut? No, you don't walking about, you're a realtor. Cash and carry your name, madam. If you remember one cover, then I'll go to me. And, they get all of these things. So what am I saying? Where am I going with this? You can see your neighbor who works in such place, who have this luxurious lifestyle. And at the end of the day, you will be shocked if we have to calculate the net worth of this individual. And it's in fact, you will be shocked that you are richer than this individual in terms of the net worth. Now, not the liability the person pack you. My freezer is how many years old? If I'm going to resell it now, well, I'm just going to dash it, Gunny. Because if I'm going to hear the price, I'm going to sell it. It's going to be me, no? So I'm just going to what? I'm going to dash it away if I have to, yeah? So, a fan you bought, an AC you bought, yes, you can still get value for it, but not the same value because the value are depreciated from how much you bought it, right? So, why did I make that example? Not to shame anyone, please. Let's not misconstruct or misunderstood me. Because they are going to misunderstood me. I'm going to come from my head, please. So, that is very, very, I cannot have a father again that's going to support me. So, that's going to fight for me. So, please, don't come for me. It's just an example that how easy it is for us to always see people, rate them by the liabilities they have, because a lot of you don't even know what an asset. Some people don't even know what an asset is. That's why I always say you'll be shocked that somebody you're hiring, your neighbor, your colleague, you're looking at, you're thinking, oh gosh, that guy is rich. Oh, that babe, oh my God, you just see the outfit. Did you see Agushi? Okay, so let's come to the ladies. Agushi, hey, go fancy, baby. Hey, from head to toe, right? It's gonna be come. Your gold Dubai is more than 18. There's 27 carats, Yabi. Your gold is 27 carats. I'm not saying those are not good. Of course, the gold is considered to be an asset, even though on another aspect of it, I don't really agree. But gold is an asset. Yes, gold is an asset. Before they call for me, gold is an asset. Yes. Gold is an asset. But I mean, your Brazilian hair, your expensive clothes, your designer wears, all of those, Sisto, yes, it's liability. It's not an asset. I mean, when you go to a party, or I keep saying it, that some certain people and you feel like, oh, because of the lifestyle, VIP tickets and shows, they go to do first class ticket. Anyway, they go, when they're going for summer like this, it's first class ticket. In fact, every summer they're buying new luxurious boxes that they used to travel. If you look at them like this, if you check their bank account, nothing. Assets that they have, nothing. You see all those tokedile, that's all they have for. But liabilities, that's all they have, unfortunately. So when we do the minus, the plus and the minus, I mean, all of that, they are liabilities. When we minus it from the assets, we'll see that you have to enter minus. There's no net worth at all. So if you and I were not very intentional about growing our net worth, it means that we will now be focusing on assets, owning more of assets. Don't get me wrong, I like to look good to the best of. See, it's because I don't have certain money. Let me just say this. If I have certain level of money, I will do my Gucci or maybe not Gucci, maybe Givenchy, yeah. No, LV, baby. I mean, those things are gay. What are you talking about? They are very good. To enjoy the luxury of life, it's very good. And I'm for it as well. But what I'm saying is, don't spend today what you're supposed to use to get more for your future, to earn more money in the future, to have a better financial life, to enjoy a better financial stability in the future. Don't use it to give us a look. That's my own. So if you are, again, very intentional about growing your net worth, your lesser focus will be on assets, as income producing assets. Because I know assets also, we can break it down. This conversation is wild. It's a whole lecture. You get. It's a whole course on its own. There are income producing assets. There are assets that are not income producing. So you have to, focus your attention on income producing assets, owning more of assets over liabilities, so that by the time they remove your liabilities from what you own, minus the liabilities and see what your asset is, then we can be able to determine what our net worth is. And that's when you start hearing, oh, this guy is worth $50 million. Oh, this person is worth $2 billion US dollars. Oh, this person is worth 10 million pounds. This person is worth 100 billion naira. Do you get it? So it means that the person owns assets. I mean, let's take a look at the current net worth of our very own Alhaji Aliko Dangote. That name is very sweet. Aliko Dangote. Now, from what I can see, 2023, he is what? 14.2 billion US dollars. I mean, in dollar. Hey, it's not even in naira. It's in dollar. God when. This is a point you say, oh, God when. God when. Father, I do not want my akpakpa to be tired like that. I need to make money. So now, this net worth attest today. I mean, checking this now, let's see Bigate. Bigate is worth 114.5 billion US dollar. Right? You see? So all of these guys, we have a lot of them that their net worth is in US dollars. Right? Which makes them on this list that we see. Now, what this means is that for Alhaji Aliko Dangote to be worth 14.2 billion US dollars, we know that the Dangote refinery, they commissioned some couple of days or weeks now. We know that he has spent a whole lot of money in dollars, in $1 billion in Ibejuleki alone. So take that from the cars, the machines, the business as a whole. It's not just the real estate he owns, the businesses he owns. Okay, so when we're talking about net worth, it's not only through owning real estate that you can grow your net worth. It's just one part, which I found out when doing my research, that all of these rich men all over the world, when you check what comprises of their net worth, how did they make their money to be worth that amount of money, you see a lot of things, real estate, but real estate is very common among all of them. Some do it through tech, some do it through oil and gas, some do it through businesses, owning chains of businesses. Like we know that Aliko Dangote owns chains of businesses. Dangote fertilizer, Dangote cement, Dangote sugar, Dangote Indomie. Spaghetti. Now, salt, Dangote salt. Now Dangote refinery. And so many other things that he's doing. So if you and I are truly passionate, we're very intentional about growing our net worth, it means that you and I can not only base our life on one single stream of income. So you're a salary earner right now. Perfect. You do 9 to 5. Awesome. But it will make more sense for you to be taking a portion part of your money, of your income rather, when you earn monthly. Take a fraction out of it as you're making that money, invest it in be owning real estate. And then as you're growing, you're increasing your real estate portfolio. Build a large real estate portfolio. Not everybody can do businesses. I've always said it. It's not everyone that can do businesses. You know how they say, oh, some people come and say, oh, quit your 9 to 5. Why should you do 9 to 5? Some people do. I know people who have oh God, I should have done that list. I know people who have researched and they are part of the richest people in the world, and they don't even own businesses like that. They own businesses, but they don't run the business. So what they do is they have their work that they do and they just buy shares. That's one of the ways people also make money. They own shares. Do you know how many shares people do? Dangote is selling his shares. They just look for new tech companies. That's the new one now. People look for new tech companies, see the prospect, do your analysis, and then invest in it. A couple of weeks ago, Otedola and Mr. Femi Otedola and Sir Elumelu Tony, they were trying to, they were trying to get the same shares. They were in battle for shares of Transcorp. And eventually, Otedola gave in. He gave in to the top ownership race. He gave in on the top ownership race to Tony Ilumelu. Now, Mr. Tony is who we know as who? As the head spear of UBA, right? But he owns now, is co-owner of Transcorp. And we know Otedola owns, different businesses. Now, is Tony Ilumelu going to run Transcorp? No, but he owns the shares. He owns part of the company. He's not going to be involved in day-to-day. So those are the ways to also make money. So let it not come, so that I won't come here and want to sound like an hypocrite. I'm not saying that real estate is the only means at which you can grow your net worth. No, there are other means, right? But I'm just saying that you don't want to just put you need to, first of all, I believe in risk sharing. Sharing your risks. I believe strongly that if you truly want a man's wealth, real estate is one sector you shouldn't even joke with. Because like I said, I've done my research over and over. I've reviewed it. I've checked it over and over up to this year. Recently, I studied it. Go and check all of them. Go and check all. Even bring it down to Nigeria. The Foluke Alakija them. They own a lot of real estate. A lot of real estate. And of course, businesses, like I said, whether you have chains of businesses you're running or you're just buying into the shares ownership. You're buying ownership of tech company, an oil and gas company, a bank, a lot of silent billionaires in Nigeria that you don't even know them. They own microfinance banks. They're running their own banks and you don't even know that they're making a lot of money. A lot of people own below the chain businesses in different areas, in different places in states. And they're making their cool money, even offshore. So, if you want to truly grow your net worth, it is not by your direct effort only. And it won't be through one means. That's what I just discovered. It won't be through one means. So, go and check it. Who among these world-known billionaires, even millionaires, that has one single of income, basically? Well, it's relative, depending on what you want. But driving it home, what I'm here to do is to open our mind to the conversations around the net worth, what we need to understand. Some people already understand it anyway, but for those who don't, this is it. And then open our mind to the intentionality. That's the essence of the whole conversation. How are you intentional? Are you paying attention? That's my question. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. Are you paying attention to your net worth? Is your current net worth depleting? Because it could deplete. What was your net worth half a decade ago? What is it now? What's it going to be in half a decade's time? You need to pay attention to the numbers. You know how you see a pressure machine, you see the numbers running. Pay attention to your number, not my own number. That's the thing. When it comes to you growing your net worth, you're not even somebody else's net worth does not have business with you, except if you're using it to just motivate yourself. As a motivation, nothing else. Pay attention to your numbers. And when you pay attention to your income, your numbers rather, that's when you now begin to the alerts. The red alarm will start ringing. And then you start asking yourself questions. What else can you do? How do you now, expand, or how do you now intentionally grow your net worth? And I always say it, real estate remains one of the safest means, a solid means of growing your net worth and generating wealth for generations unborn. Creating wealth for generations unborn. It's okay if you're not interested in this conversation, if it's going to give you anxiety and all of that, please don't engage. But for those of us who are very intentional about growing another, myself inclusive, because I mean, that can, in my lifetime, they should say that when they want to say, Goodness Usman's net worth. I know it right now. It's not a phone. It's not a phone. It's not smiling. I have work to do. Seriously. I have work to do. So, start looking at inward. Some of you are even worth a certain amount of money you don't know. Maybe you own a property. I mean, I was talking about it last week. In last week's episode, even during this week, I was having a conversation with people that, do you even know that the plot of land you have bought XYZ place is now worth XYZ money? So people have not even sat down to calculate their net worth. Go and do so. It's good to know it. If I know it for the form of it. Anytime I talk about this thing, I always remember that interview that Aliko Dangote granted. And he said the very first huge amount of money he made, I can't remember the amount he called it then. I think the first 100 million or something. And that he checked his account. And then he saw, these figures in millions. And he was like, I own this? Really? That he had to go out. I think he went to and withdraw 20 million cash or 50 million cash or something. I can't remember the exact figure. When he said he had to go out and withdraw it in cash and borrow it home. I said, Goodness Usman. Oh my God. Imagine how I'm going to feel it. If my very first time in my life, I withdraw 100 million and put, Oluwa, Baba God, help me. Help me, help your gay. The feeling of him, I can read it, I can understand. I mean, the first time I had my first 1 million, like cash 1 million, I'm like, how does it even fit? 1 million and cash. It's not this Nigeria 1 million now. There's 100,000. It's not. I'm not talking of that one. No, not this 1 million now. Unfortunately, the 100,000 there. Our 10,000 of then is now 100K. Our 100K now is the 1 million I'm talking about. What more rebuy? The feeling. There's that unexplainable, super awesome, satisfying feeling. I know it's not the same thing. It's not the same level with that 100 million of Dangote. What are you telling me? First 1 million. Are you guys joking? Everyone is sharing. You guys cannot want me sharing. At that point, it's my own 100 million. Cannot talk about. What are you talking about? I cannot wait for when this baby girl is gone. Collect the first 100 million. I collect it in naira. I'm not going to collect it in dollars because Tibalo shesi dollar. Who come and share him? He tells me like this. I will not send the money. It's going to be far. Canada must go. I'm like, volume van. I'm like, 100 million. I say, this is for security reason. Take it back to the bank. My PA, go and deposit it back to the bank. Big woman will fit me. I mean, can't you see me? Hey. Anyways, you guys get the gist, you get the drift, you get what I'm saying. Honestly, this feeling that comes with you even accomplishing a set goal for yourself. So, 3 things I want you to take away from this conversation today. First of all, what is your net worth? Do you know it? If you don't know it, please, let's go and define it. Start looking inward. How many liability? You have forecast. Okay, it's liability. If they're not using it for Uber, myself inclusive. Okay, my own is then it's a business. It's in inspection glass blow. So that's not exactly liability. It's an investment. You got it. It's investment. No asset yet. It's investment. So if you're able to do your proper analysis on the cars you have, some people have cars, they just park it 3 months, they're not using it. If you have the money, no problem. Good for you. But what I'm saying is, after this conversation, sit down, ask yourself, how many liabilities do I even have? Are they beyond my assets? Or my asset is way over my liabilities? Whatever result you get, improve on it. Improve on it. If your asset is over your liabilities, keep owning more assets. Because if you are not rejoicing and you relax, over time, before you open your eyes and close it, you have more liabilities. Because you are relaxing, you're like, baby girl for life. Oh, baby boy for life. Well, yeah, but, stay woke, stay conscious, don't lose God when it comes to your finances. And the other part is, whatever you find out, work on it, improve on it. Come, you have known me, Goodness Usman. See, I tell you, I am very intentional about your net worth, about you growing your net worth. I'm very intentional about you growing financially. It is important. You cannot be working for life as indirect energy biz. Put that indirect and indirect income. I mean, passive income. That's what I mean. So yes, I have said this and I will say it again. For those who are very intentional about growing their net worth, it's not, you see that real estate is not one-off for you. Real estate investment is a journey for you. And that's why I'm here. That's where I come in. We can say, oh goodness, in another half a decade, I want to increase my real estate portfolio from 100 million naira to 1 billion. Before you open your eyes in that 5 years, you would achieve even way beyond 1 billion naira. Yes, you heard me right. I know people who their property portfolio is already in that range. Some are even more than that. And if you look at what they earn, you'll be like, that's why some people would see. Some people will be rich in looks, but in the books, nothing. Some people live comfortable, which is good, but beyond that living comfortable, nothing. And that's why some people don't even have emergencies. Anything happen, there's nothing to fall back to. If you know, during COVID, a lot of us realized a lot of things financially. Some people were already under 1 month. Some people were already home dry, or crying everywhere. Forget some of us that were crying to our big brothers. Like, brothers happy, brothers, I don't have anybody. Some of us were only doing baby girl. We only try to. And Yoruba will say and yo. How do they say it in Oyibo? You guys should go and look for a translator. Forget the ayo. But to the real of being really down, we realized then that, risafua, risafua babu. So real estate is also your risafua. Have a risafua. I know people who buy properties and have it in different pockets. Emergency, long-term investment, short-term investment, school tuition fee, So, you guys get the drift, and you know I'm here always for you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name remains Goodness Usman, your 5-lady realtor for Niger Realty 24/7, and of course, the queen of landlord makers. Yes, we'll have to draw the curtain here today on today's episode. Thank you so much for watching the show with me. I hope I've been an awesome host to you. Honestly, this topic is something we can take on and on. We can have it in different parts. But see, it is not interesting if you watch it and you don't give me your feedbacks. A lot of you are watching this show. I mean, the last one we have an awesome view. I mean, the rate at which people, I'm like, money matter. So please, you're watching. In fact, I've seen people say, when we watch your TikTok, me and my wife, we have certain conversations in that regard. We pick some things and then we even note out some things. Put it in the comment section. I know people don't like, some people don't like to comment, but give me your feedback through the comment section. What do you think? This morning talk, this network, what do you think? Tell me, am I even wrong? So this is it. Give me your feedback. I mean, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a deep. I didn't go to school to read finances. I read electrical electronics, but due to my research, due to the work I do a lot of research. Tell me, what do you think about liabilities? What do you know about assets? What do you know about network that I didn't talk about? Educate us in the comment section, and I'll be looking forward to reading from you all. Thank you once again for watching the show with us every time we upload. Don't forget, we upload new episode every Sunday, 4 p.m. Nigeria time. Once again, I say thank you to all. And if you're here to subscribe, come on now. Come on. You want us to buy you a bottle of chill Zobo before you come and subscribe? Okay, come and take your Zobo, Jare. Take the Zobo now. Chill one, you get it. Sweet Zobo that has ginger. You can feel the ginger, baby. They even add honey. Oh yeah, please subscribe now and turn on your notification bell. Don't forget to like the video as well. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys in the next episode. But until then, don't forget that I'm here to help you. Yes, you become a landlord, a proud landlord, a proud landlady, or a proud landowner in anywhere in Lagos. Just even if the listing is not, even if it's not a property listed on our listings on this channel, just give me a call. My numbers are scrolling on the screen. Please, it's available on WhatsApp. Reach out to me. Let me help you. Let me now say this. You people that you're gonna be watching, you're always watching my video. You come and say, thank you very much. That update you did on that estate, thank you, I bought in it. Stop it. It's not nice. The Lord does not like it. Benny, the Lord does not like that kind of behavior. You're gonna be gathering information from me and I'm gonna be buying from another person. Or you're gonna be buying from another person and be getting update from our channel. It's not good. Stop doing it. Help us as well. Help us to increase our ministry. I just needed to chip that in on a lighter note, but seriously, I mean, encourage us. Thank you. Refer us. For those that have always encouraged us, that's always patronized us, that's always refer us, thank you. You guys are always the real MVP. And I pray for you that this month of June, it shall be well with you. It shall be well with your family. It shall be well with everything concerning you. You're going out, you're coming in, shall be safe. Evil will not before you and your household. In the name of the Lord. Have an awesome, fabulous, and the best month yet, ladies and gentlemen. So I say to you, oh,